My name is Jackson Ame. I am the founder and chief executive officer of Go Green Environmental Health Sustainability Initiatives. At this role, I provide strategic leadership for the organization. I lead the design and implementation of projects across communities and areas of our implementation. I also liaise with donors, interface with government agencies, stakeholders, partners, and community stakeholders in implementing our projects both in Benue State and in Nigeria. Go Green became involved with Spring through a rigorous selection process. After the due diligence and compliance check, Go Green was engaged as an implementing partner on the Spring project in Benue State to carry out peace building initiative. At Go Green, our core focus is peace building, climate change, and environmental sustainability. From my perspective, Spring is addressing a very critical issue in the society, particularly the persistent conflict between farmers and herders, not only in Benue State, but across Nigeria and the state in which Spring is implementing. How are they doing this? Through structured community peace building processes. Spring has been intervening in ensuring that safe spaces are provided for dialogues, enhanced communication, cooperation, and collaboration between crop farmers and herders in the local communities. For we at Go Green, we're implementing the IPASS project. IPASS project stands for Agro-Pastoral Integration for Peace and Sustainable Development in Benue State. The IPASS project is currently being implemented in Guma and Makurdi local government and in 8 communities, 4 in Guma and 4 in Makurdi local government. And we have seen over time that this IPASS project has fundamentally changed the way crop farmers and livestock herders coexist in the communities. From competition and mistrust to we see coordination, and we see dialogue, and we see shared responsibilities. Through the IPASS project, we brought in these groups of farmers and herders together for community dialogue and peace building initiative in the communities. And we are working in the work streams that has to do with the resource governance as well as the agro-pastoralism. And one of the things we felt is establishing an effective resource governance. But firstly, you need to get the trust of the people. So establishing effective resource governance starts with trust, not the rules. In communities where farmers and herders have consistently or repeatedly been involved in conflict, the first step is to create a safe space for dialogue. The first step is to create a natural space for dialogue where people will come together, particularly those whose voices were usually not heard, to be able to express themselves. The IPASS project established what we call the joint problem analysis. And before we launch into the communities, we had to get the foundation, what the issue, what the root of the problem is. We'll bring the farmers and herders, traditional leaders, women, youth, and people in vulnerable groups to put up the plan and the map for the implementation of the project. This shared understanding has deeply demystified the assumptions that were initially in the communities, and we have seen how real drivers of this conflict are now being visible to everyone. Talking about economic ties, such as the shared demonstration farms that we have established, they are really acting as a deterrent to violence, as a deterrent to crime, because we've seen through the IPASS project a clearer picture, and then we have seen a change in behavior. You see, where farmers and herders come together jointly to establish a demonstration farm, a lot of time was invested, a lot of energy was invested, a lot of resources was invested jointly, and therefore the joint demonstration farm reduces some level of dispute because they collectively come together to solve problems. When issues arise, they solve it together rather than confrontation. And it is also a widely believed that peace, when people invest time, labor, and resources together, peace becomes very costly. Because when you destroy that, you are destroying the both effort that everybody has put in place. And so we are seeing also early conflict reporting and faster resolution. Through the community peace structures that we have, we see where cases are promptly reported, addressed, and resolved. And now in our program, we also include the people with disability. We believe that for a sustainable peace initiative, everybody must be carried along, including people with disability. And the example where we included someone from our community, Esther Nenge, who is somebody living with disability, is to expatiate that community peace building is for everybody. And so people with disability are also very key and very important. And addressing these realities makes peace strategies more practical and more inclusive for everyone. Finally, before I wrap up, we see that including people with disability strengthens what we call the legitimacy because nobody is left behind, everybody is carried along. So both the women, the youth, the people with disabilities are generally carried along in the peace building process. Thank you.